going to do today in the Summer Sunday Stretch series is this. We're going to talk about support, and we're going to talk about what support means to you and what having the kind of support you need could do for you, how that could help you move forward in your life. We're going to also talk about how you ask for support and also how you receive support, because that's a biggie. So Becca was over here yesterday. We did a little filming yesterday, and so I just wanted to come to you live today, and then we'll try and splice it all together. I'm still learning how to do all this video stuff, so it could be a bit sketchy, so please bear with me. But we're going to give you just some short coaching. That's what the Sunday stretch class is all about. It's really about, here's a concept, so you can tell us what you did. We also are going to start out with a celebration. Where did you do something that you've been wanting to do, and let's celebrate that. That was a stretch for you and you got it done. So we'll start with that, and then we'll go into what is it that you want to do in the upcoming week that's a stretch for you, a little bit out of your comfort zone, but totally doable with the right support. So join me just in a minute. We'll splice it together and we're going to enjoy this Sunday. It's a beautiful day. That's the Maquoketa River out there. Yeah, it's my backyard. And now the dogs are hiding. I was going to let them say howdy. Summer Stretch series today, our focus is on support, because what I really experienced at the coaching week was how amazing it was to feel supported for 7 days in a row. I mean, it was incredible, because I always have Becca here as my support. She supports me every day when we walk the dogs, and we get a little talk, and we think, yes, we can go out and live our life today. But
change the world.
Yes, we can.
We got this.
Yes. So we were just thinking that if we could encourage you to do the same and think about what it would mean for you to have support. So what I was thinking that I might ask you all to do is we're just going to do a little visualization. So that means that I'll ask you to close your eyes, and then you won't have to, look at all this. But no one will see you, because, you're probably watching this on your own. So we'll start with just getting grounded, because I think sometimes we watch things and we're kind of multitasking. And so if we can just really get present in if you can get present in your body, and the way to do that would be maybe feel your feet touching the floor, maybe rub your hands together, maybe just put your hand over your heart, or do something to just and then just take a deep breath in, and breathe deeply, and take a deep breath in, and then let it go, and just give yourself a minute to be here. And then just feel the support. Maybe you're sitting on a chair, so feel your buns in the chair, feel your feet on the ground. And then I just want you to imagine, I mean, most of us have this idea of what it would, we think there's maybe one thing we would like to do, and we can easily say, if I just had somebody to help me do blank, and fill in the blank. So as you're thinking about this, what's the most maybe not the most urgent, because those things aren't always the things that we are really longing to do, but that thing, that dream that you have, and the first step, but you're stuck at the first step because you don't know how to do it. So what would that be? What would it feel like if you had the support to do that? So if you can just kind of feel into that, and what would you need? Would you need to ask somebody for something? Would you need more information? Would you need more resources? But it's usually going to involve you needing to ask somebody for something, because if you could get there on your own, you would already be there. I mean, I think the thing that we say, I should have known better or whatever. But the thing is, I know you, and I know that you would be there already. You're smart, you're brilliant, we love you, and we want you to do great things in the world. So the thing is, no more beating yourself up, no more listening to those rules that don't apply, that were protecting you at some point, but they're really just holding you back right now. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do is just, if you can get a sense of what that might be, and what would it be like if you could ask for it this week? I mean, does that make you feel a little nauseous, a little sick to your stomach when you have to ask somebody for what you need? I mean, it's funny because we think, oh, it'd be so great. But then when we actually think about doing it, sometimes it's like, oh, but it's so much easier when it's in my head and it goes perfectly. But then when you have to actually dial up the phone, call somebody and say, hey.
That's when you find 20 other things that are really important that you have to do right now because you don't want to do that.
Right.
And you busy yourself all week long with all these things. You're just too busy to get to it because what's really happening is you're frightened to try it.
You're frightened.
It goes back to that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
And that fear that you're not enough and that that you're just crazy for even thinking that someone would help you because you're not enough. When you are.
Right, you totally are. And we would like to refer you to this video called 100 Days of Rejection or 100 something
I think so. 100
rejection.
Days of Rejection.
So if you feel like you can't handle rejection, you've got to watch. It's a TED Talk. I don't know if you're familiar, but we'll put the information on the bottom too. So this guy just wanted to get comfortable with feeling rejected, so he asked for like outrageous things just so he could hear no and get used to it. And what he found is that many people accommodated him in the most outrageous.
He didn't actually get rejected on some of the most ridiculous questions.
Yeah, so for your first stretch exercise, it might be to watch the TED Talk that we'll put on here and just understand that it isn't just you that's afraid of getting rejected. I'm afraid, Becca's afraid, we're all afraid.
Everybody
is. So what happens is sometimes we'll reject ourselves first before we even allow someone to reject us. So we'll just say, no, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that dream, even though you're like this close to being there. So I guess you can open your eyes now, but I just wanted you to get a sense. Sometimes when we don't close our eyes, we have too much visual stuff going on and we don't really get into our bodies. We stay in our head and we think about it and we think, oh yeah, I'm thinking this is what it would be like, but you're not really feeling what it would be like. And so we're going to harp on this all summer long, that you've got a body, so I really want you to be in it and feel what it's like, because it's terrifying to be in a body sometimes, but the more you can come from that knowing, and it'll help you move into what it is you want to do and take action, because it's very hard just to take action when you're spinning in your head. You actually have to show up and do the work. So what the stretch class is about is kind of gently stretching you to take those actions. But first of all, you have to identify what they are. So that's why we're starting off with support, because we want you to know that we are here to support you, and we're here to support each other, and we welcome your support if you have some questions for us. But so just really just take some time, and if you don't want to do it right here, right now, maybe later, do this exercise when you're in your quiet, special place, if you have one.
If not, try to find one, because that's key to every day. If you can just have a little time alone in your quiet, special place.
Even if it's the bathroom and a locked door where the dogs and the kids and the neighbors, anybody can't get in. So whatever it takes. But if you can take a minute and then just really just kind of, like I said, get grounded, and then ask yourself, what would it feel like to have that support? And then the first step would be, who would I need to ask for support? Who would I need? Where would that support come from? What would it look like? And it doesn't have to be this huge thing. It's like you don't have to ask somebody for $1 million, because that's a big ask right off. I'm not saying that you can't get it, but I'm just saying maybe we start out with
something a little smaller to practice on.
So anyway, but and maybe something that you even feel comfortable, that you know that somebody would give you. I mean, even just saying to somebody in your family, oh, could you give me a ride, or could you do
or like
something?
I had to ask for your support today.
Yeah, it was, and it was so exciting, because here's the thing. Here is the other piece of it. What you don't know is that it delights people to be able to help you. So, like, Becca had a little situation today.
Oh, it was horrible. I was so embarrassed. And the last thing I wanted to do was call and let people know what had happened, much less ask them for help and inconvenience them in their day because of my stupidity.
No, but it wasn't stupidity. It was just a little. You had a lot going on, and here's the thing: it can happen anytime. And it just so happened that I was home and I answered my phone, and I like things lined up, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna put on my cape, and off I go.
And she rescued me,
and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So what you need to understand is when you're asking for help, is that you're allowing another person to give, which is also that's really a gift.
Yes.
Too, because the other piece of this asking for support is then also learning to receive graciously, because sometimes we're so uncomfortable with receiving that we're not good receivers. So like somebody will do something, but we kind of like almost we take the joy out of letting them give to us. So if somebody does something, just like, oh yeah, thank you,
yes,
and just like shower the people you love with love. Let it rain down on you. Let it feel good, and let people do things for you, because that is such a gift to other people to be able, because especially if you're somebody who's so competent and so good at what you do, it's like, oh, I can never help her because she's got it all going on, she's got it going on, and what could I possibly do? So
a lot.
So it has to come in the front door, and then it sneaks in the back door, or goes down through the basement or up in the attic. We miss it. So just be aware and maybe say, how was I supported that I didn't really realize that I was supported? Because a funny thing happened to me after that week of being so obviously supported. It was like front door support. But when I got home, I was telling Becca about that, and then I realized Becca supports me every single day. I mean, every day. She's like,
I try to.
Coming in the side door and saying, okay, let's go walk these dogs and let's talk about what's going on. And then I think about the people at my work who support me every day. And then I think about, my family, everything. So, don't, you might maybe start with the people who are already supporting you and say, hey, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Because of you, I'm able to do this, and so it's good because of Becca, I'm able to make this video, because I did want to say this because I would never have been on the video ever if not for Becca, because she said, let's do this. And I said, okay. And, it was terrifying, and it still is. And but we're getting more comfortable with it, and so we're going to show up every Sunday all summer long with suggestions. And then at the end of the summer in September, if you are so into it like we are, you can come and spend a whole day with us, because we are going to have
really cool.
a really great Saturday. Save the date, Saturday, September 23rd. I'll give you more details. But anyway, that's it for now. We just wanted to support you in asking for support, and celebrating the support that has already shown up for you.
One small step toward your dream, whatever it is, figuring out what your dream is.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm still at.
Yeah. But and we'd love to hear from you, really. So here's the thing. Not only are you, well, gosh, I'm giving you a whole bunch of things to do, but please let us know what's going on with you. So if you don't feel like leaving the comments here, you can send us a personal message. I'll give you our information. I'm Penny Ploutz at Wellpower, Becca Formenti. She's also a Wellpower, and but she's a great coach, and we would both be able to love to support you and help you however we can. So you can send us a personal message if you'd like to. Otherwise, we will see you next Sunday. In the meantime, stretch.
Bye.